to Let There Be Sight podcast. This is Dr. Sirish Nelivigi, ophthalmologist and eye surgeon, with you. As I discussed in my previous podcast episode of Let There Be Sight, we will discuss and try to create awareness about healthy vision. In this particular episode, I would want you to listen to a heartrending story of one of my patients by name Shoukath Ahmed. He's been fighting with glaucoma for about 10 years now, or rather I should put it and say that we have together been fighting his glaucoma for about 10 years, and then he's come out thumbs up after these years. Of course, let me say beforehand, glaucoma remains uncurable and in future we don't know whether we will be able to find a cure for it, but however, control of glaucoma remains the cornerstone of treatment, and if we have been able to control glaucoma for a long period of time and hopefully for the rest of the life of the patient, it means that we have achieved great success in treatment of glaucoma. Let me come back to the story of Shoukath Ahmed. Shoukath Ahmed is a coffee planter from Bangalore in Karnataka. He came to me about 10 years back, I still remember, on a rainy August day. The clouds are overcast, it was somewhat dark for a day, and then he came walking in, or rather shuffling into the OPD. He came in and told me that his vision is extremely poor, and then he thought it was cataract and had gone to an ophthalmologist, and the ophthalmologist, after checking him, told him that there was no cataract and he had a condition called as glaucoma. The ophthalmologist friend of mine referred him to me since I happen to be a glaucoma specialist. Mr. Shoukath Ahmed came incredulously unbelieving about hearing a sudden diagnosis which was so devastating to him. He told me, almost challenging the previous doctor. He said, "See doctor, I think this previous doctor has made this diagnosis of glaucoma. I don't think that's correct. Can you please verify it for me? The doctor says that I've been having this problem for many years, which is untrue. I have been facing this problem just for a few months now. Can you please verify and tell me whether whatever I heard is right or wrong?" I put Shoukath Ahmed through the routine tests that we take through in an ophthalmology OPD. I started suspecting glaucoma and found, after the relevant investigations, that whatever diagnosis was handed over to him by the previous ophthalmologist was indeed correct. Glaucoma happens to be a stealthy disease, a silent disease, which takes away the patient's vision in a very slow and steady and a killing manner, in such a way that the patient will not be aware that he is losing his eyesight over a period of time. This explains why the patient was unbelieving of his diagnosis. Well, to cut the long story short, the diagnosis of glaucoma was made and handed over to the patient. But to my surprise, the patient, once he heard the reconfirmation of the diagnosis to me, accepted the fact well, and all he said is, "Okay doctor, let's see how we take it forward. Can we do something to fight this disease?" I said, "Yes, all is not lost. Whatever you have been left, we can try to save it for the rest of your life." Though the patient had lost about 80% of his vision already, he was resolute and strong-willed enough to say and take care of his vision for the rest of his journey. So there started the journey that I'm going to talk about. Once the diagnosis was made, I gave him the relevant medications and the appropriate treatment I found or felt necessary for that stage of the disease. And I explained to him the importance of follow-up and re-examination and re-investigations over a period of time. Shoukath Ahmed turned out to be a very good patient. He kept on doing the follow-ups religiously every 3 months thereafter. He would travel that distance of about 150 kilometers every 3 months without missing. The investigations were done on a regular basis every 6 months. We kept on monitoring the condition of the glaucoma on a very regular basis thereafter. Over a period of time, when the investigations were done and the proper medications were instituted to Mr. Shoukath Ahmed, we kept on verifying and re-verifying and then made sure that the intraocular pressures or the eye pressures, which we simply call, were kept under good control. He was a very good patient, as I referred to you before, and then we kept very good control of the eye pressures, and all the subsequent tests kept on showing that indeed we had been able to control his glaucoma very effectively. This went on. It was for the next 1 year, 2 years, and then this 2 years stretched on to 5 years, and now it is about 10 to 11 years since the patient has been on rigorous, correct follow-up with me, and then there is hardly any progression in his condition. Mr. Shoukath Ahmed is one of our common success stories in glaucoma, where we are able to hold on to the condition and hold on to the glaucoma at its track and beat the disease at its own game. Indeed, this is one of the inspiring stories, and again let me say it's a common inspiring story which we should probably listen and then remember. Always keep in mind, glaucoma is a condition, though we cannot cure it, it is a controllable condition. We can catch hold of the reins of glaucoma and hold it at its tracks with some conditions like a good follow-up, a good treatment, and regular investigations. We will be the winners in this game of glaucoma and hold on to glaucoma without letting further loss of eyesight. Let Shoukath Ahmed's story be an inspirational story for everybody, and let us remember that we can win this condition or disease and come out winners. Thank you so much for listening, and it's me, Dr. Sirish Nelivigi, signing off.